a mission through the movieverse tonight. Chasing aliens, bad plots, and CGI that ain't quite right. Dave leads the charge with the captain's command. John's the rookie, still learning where to land. Shane drops beats that walk through time. Chad fixes tech with precision so fine. The Sci-Fi Guys. The Sci-Fi Guys.
Yes, everyone, we are these sci-fi guys, and we've got the whole crew here. Everybody, introduce yourself. Woo-hoo! I said introduce yourselves, and y'all went woo at the same time.
Hey, everybody, I'm Shane.
Well, I guess we'll go bottom up. Hey, I'm John.
I guess I'm next. Hey, I'm Chad.
And of course, I'm Dave. Welcome to these sci-fi guys. Here we are, 2026. Is our first podcast of the year. I know. Can you believe it's 2026?
No, cannot. It's crazy.
We're 11 years without flying cars.
Fair.
Yeah. It's a real shame, honestly.
You know, of course, my generation, I remember growing up in the 60s and 70s and 80s, and I watched Space 1999, and we were all on the moon living there and had spacecraft that could fly and do all kinds of stuff. And we're lucky if they fix the potholes in the roads, you know.
Yeah. I'll say, besides, have we seen the way people drive? I'm not sure I want them flying yet.
Agreed with that.
Yeah.
Agreed with that.
Yeah.
Everyone, well, we are these sci-fi guys. We have a new intro. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm just sitting there singing along. I know it's all AI. I'm trying not to use AI very much. I really am. But it's there. It really is. I think that it's, what is that? The cat's out of the bag. I mean,
it's way out of the bag. It's way out of the bag.
It's just a matter of what we decide to do with it now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. So, how'd you guys do? How was your Christmas, New Year's? Anybody? Good?
Hey, it was great. Lots of time with family. I think that's always a win.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Love family. Whenever we get to spend time with them, to a point.
Yeah,
to a point.
There's a time frame in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, everyone, those of you out there, I'm glad. I know we've had a interesting year so far. At least those of us, three of us were in the education system, and we're all back to school again. Chad didn't get a day off other than Christmas. It seems like, you know.
Yeah.
I actually had almost like a 2 weeks vacation. I took my vacation time towards the end, so I had my vacation at the end. So I didn't go back to the 5th of January.
There you go.
Oh, nice. So you did get a little bit of a break.
Yeah,
that's good for you. It's always good. I mean, you know, it's funny. Towards the end there, I was just like, I'm ready to go back to school. I mean, I'm ready. I want to get back into it. Mine is not so much the work. It was, I wanted to get back to a routine.
Yeah.
And that's why I was just chomping at the bit for us to get to do this again, because this is our routine every Monday night. We get on here and talk and just have a good time.
Yes, I've been so excited. Been ready to get back.
Yeah, and for those of you out there in YouTube land and audio land, we've already picked out all our movies for the year.
We're set, man. We're more organized than ever.
We really are organized this year.
A little bit better every year. A little bit better.
And we even we've already talked to those sci-fi guys, and we're already doing at least one crossover with them. Maybe I can talk them into another one. At least I scheduled it in there, so we'll see.
I'm sure we can talk them into something. I'm sure.
I'm sure. I really am. And okay, so what are we doing? Let me pull up the little slide here. Is this the right one? Yes, it is. Okay, we are doing Dune, Part 1 and Part 2. Because we had some
Dune.
time off, we decided to go ahead and do both movies at the same time.
Mhm.
Move that from the
Stop it, Chad.
studio.
Stop it. Stop it.
All right. It's just because we had some time. It was the only way we were going to get these two
Mhm.
movies, just because of how long they were.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to do a plot summary. I'm not going to do it. It's going to be who picked the movie. So
Shocking.
I'm going to do this in order. I'm going to put John up here because he does part 1, and I'm going to put Shane over here. He's going to do part 2 with his Longhorns there. You know, even though he's a Gator fan.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, John, give us these need to be like short, like couple lines, you know.
Oh wait,
Timer.
hold on.
Go.
I
Go.
had mine timed down to 20 minutes. I thought we were good.
I had 30, so I may need to pull it down a little bit.
Okay,
Okay.
Pastor Shane.
Yeah, I can go long now. Come on.
Somebody
All
just
right.
called.
So, Dune Part 1. Essentially, Emperor control everything. Planet have spice. Emperor take people in control of planet with spice and put other people in place to cause war. There's Dune Part 1.
Yep. And then Dune Part 2 is kind of the story arc. So it takes the main character, Paul Atreides, and his morphing into this prophecy of the Lisael-Gaib, and it shows him transforming into what this prophecy is. And depending on which way you see it, and we'll talk about this, is this a good thing or is this a bad thing? We will find out.
All right. I like this. I like this format where it's not just me talking. So that's a good part. We are
Aw.
going to do I did not upload it. Let me see. Let me see if I can find an image file of it. Anyway, while I'm searching for this, okay, we have, remember last year we did. What did we do last year?
Rotten Tomatoes, didn't we?
We did Rotten Tomatoes, and part of the problem that I ran into with Rotten Tomatoes is, well, heck, I didn't download it. All right, is that all of my movies are on Plex, and if you look at Plex, the very first thing is Rotten Tomatoes is their score. Right
Mhm.
next to it is the IMDb score.
Mhm.
So I was
And we
like,
shockingly still got a lot of those wrong.
Mhm. Shockingly.
shockingly.
Even when we watched them on Plex and should have
Yeah.
seen them, we still got them wrong.
I don't think I ever paid attention to it.
I didn't either. That's the problem.
You probably did. I mean, but I just noticed it whenever I was when I was going through, and I was like, okay, we got to do something a little different than Rotten Tomatoes and all that, because Rotten Tomatoes also is like all these different people, and it could be something they did last week. It could be something when it first came out. Okay, I just uploaded it. Let's see if I can pull this up here now. Image file. Okay, we are going to be doing Metacritic. All right. So you can see this is the thing I'm going to be doing every week. I'm going to show their scores. All right. At the end of the year, I'm going to buy whoever is the winner something nice. Probably maybe a Hawaiian shirt, maybe maybe a mug. I don't know.
I love it.
I want to match with a Hawaiian shirt.
Yes.
Okay.
Got the sci-fi.
Full
shirt.
send.
One of my these sci-fi guys Hawaiian shirts. Hey, I could do it. All right. So basically, it's got the three of you, and I've got the Excel sheet over here on the left that is going to keep scores of everything. So, but I'm not going to tell you what the answer was until we do it. All right, if that makes sense.
Mm.
Let me
Okay.
remove this. Okay, so we're going to start with Metacritic. We're going to start right here. Click right here. John, what do you think Metacritic gave this? This is going to be on a scale of 0 to 100.
There's the question I was going to ask, so that helps me out a lot. So 0 to 100, I think it probably gave it like an 88.
That's part 1,
Yes.
right? Okay. what did you think for part 2? I'm just gonna give you both. Let's just
Oh, part
since you're
2.
talking.
Part 2 is probably like a 92.
92. Okay. Oh, by the way, and the way that the formula works in the computer is, let's just I'm gonna throw this number out. I'll wait. Go ahead. Let me because I remember Chad last time, and when I threw a number out there, it confused him. So we're gonna wait. All right, Shane, give me yours.
Okay, so for part 1, I'm going to go just a little bit lower, and I'm going to say 83.
Okay, then
And
give
then-
me part 2.
And for part 2, I'm going to go a little higher, and I'm going to say 93.
Oh,
93.
wider
Okay.
split
Oh,
there.
By the
Right.
way, you guys cannot use the same numbers. That's part of the thing.
Okay.
Chad.
So it's very interesting that they put it to that high of it for 1. The original Dune, it was long and boring. So part 1, I'm going to put it in the halfway, put it at 50%, 50.
50.
Wow.
Okay.
Just because it was just slow going, and part 2, I'll go 75%, 75.
75.
Chad
All
is
right.
the mega critic.
He is. He is.
Okay. Well, all right. So before I show you the numbers and I start putting them in the spreadsheet. All right. So for example, let's just say the number was 80. All right.
Mhm.
And John gave a 90 and Chad gave a 70. Each one is 10 apart, right?
Mhm.
Chad would be the winner of that because he's the same as away as you, but he did not go over.
He didn't go over. Yep.
Kind of like the Price
Oh,
is
I
Right.
forgot not going over.
It's
Dang it.
Closest without
closest
going over.
without going over. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter unless you two are tied. Unless
Okay,
two
fair.
people are tied. That's the
Mm.
only way it matters.
Gotcha.
Okay. So let me add this to the score. And part
Calculate.
1 is 74,
Ooh.
is what they
Ouch.
gave it. All right. So the winner of that round was Shane.
Dang, yeah.
Shane was the closest.
Woohoo.
Oh,
Okay.
not a strong start for me.
Lucky guess.
Part 2 is 79. And
Oh.
the winner of that one
John, I think that was you.
is Chad.
Oh,
No,
Chad got it.
he got
Chad gave
75.
us 75.
That's right, because
Yeah.
you went over. You went over.
Yeah.
Y'all two went 90s.
Yeah. You two
Yeah.
went in the 90s.
Yeah.
So, and now what I
I
will
demand a
do
recount.
at the end of the show, I will put the numbers in. Basically, I'll put Chad has 1, Shane has 1, John has 0 at this point, and then we'll go on through the rest of the year and then see what happens for there.
Sounds
Okay.
good. Sounds
Sounds
fun.
good.
I like that.
Something different. It's a little different. It's in you guys would really have to go directly to the website and search it. I've already done every movie with the exception of one because we changed it just recently.
Yeah.
I've already done all the movies throughout the whole year. So I've got all the numbers. I know exactly which ones. And there's some of them I was like, wow, that was high. And other ones I was like, wow, that was low. So
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to get used to it being Metacritic because it's different.
Yeah.
it is different. It is something a little different. Okay, so now at this point, we are going to discuss the movie. We're going to discuss some different things about the movie. For those of you out there, we're going to talk about the plot/story, what we liked about it, what we didn't like about it. We're going to talk about the music. We're going to talk about the cast. Oh, I missed one. I missed the first one. Special effects.
Hey, there we go. I was like, there's one missing here. I remember the text.
Special
Yeah.
effects, plot, story, music, and cast. All right. And then after we do all that, we're going to rate this. It could be on all four of those. Kind of a combination of that. All right. Because we're doing, before we did the questions first, we're going to do the questions towards the end. Something a little different.
Switch it up.
All right. So, yeah, let's switch it up. Let's talk about the special effects. What'd you guys think of it?
All right, now listen. Behind the scenes, just to help with your catering of these lovely special effects, some similitudes for you. They did use something called a sand screen. It's the color of sand. So instead of a green screen or a blue screen, they did legitimately use the color of sand because blue screen and green screen, as good as they are, even in the modern world, they still cast a hue on the skin of the actors in the room. And so to help mitigate some of that, sand screen. They also would...
I was going to say your virtual background that you have, it makes your face look darker and, more pronounced.
I've been out in the sun. And then the I call them dragonflies. Their version of a helicopter. They would legit film helicopters and how it flung up sand, and then they would kind of scope that into the film. Even the sandworms, they would let a hole drop with sand in it, and then they would just kind of make it bigger on screen. And so I think their combination of practical and computer-based graphics, absolutely lovely. As someone who loves that stuff, I think that is hands down some of the best stuff they've done in a long time with more practical stuff.
Chad, what'd you think?
I'll agree there with. Here's just only praise I might give these movies with the special effects.
He's coming right out with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna lay it on.
Guns blazing.
So
Guns blazing. He wants to take away my low score.
He does. He wants to win it this year.
He wants to win
Yeah,
it.
he's taking it.
But the special effects was very good in this movie, especially in both of these. And again, in the second one, with you can tell they did a lot with the special effects. This is only I see why these movies are, especially the special effects. It sold the movies where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
So what John said is you can really tell that they thought it out.
Shane?
I agree. I think the attention to detail and the realism is very clear in this movie. Even though it is a different world, there's a lot of different creatures and technology and everything. You kind of look at it and you're like, I could kind of see that happening. I could kind of see that working. I think that the director did an amazing job as far as making everything seem like it could be. It wasn't so far-fetched as sometimes you see in sci-fi movies to where like that really couldn't happen anywhere. I could see someplace with like these giant sandworms and these dragonfly helicopters. I could see some of this stuff. So just the attention to detail was amazing, and how it presented on the how it presented on the screen was just fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I enjoyed the special effects a lot. Love the helicopter dragonfly thingies. They threw me for a loop with how big apparently they were. They didn't look that big when they're flying around.
Yeah.
And just when the bottom drops out and they're able to get it. I mean, I really enjoyed that. I love the what do you call them? The spice crawlers, I guess you could call them. Where they're those machines, tracks and all that. Yeah, I love those. That was great.
Yep.
As someone who has been deployed to the sand a lot,
Fair.
Not my cup of tea, but I get it. I think, okay, yeah, no, never mind. We'll get to that part later. But yeah, no, it's I really thought I had the Anakin Skywalker, where he's like, I hate sand, but I don't I don't have that as one of my drops, so we'll have to.
Man, what a shame.
I probably will never need it again, but yeah, no, I thought these I agree with what you said, John. I mean, the special effects, the practical and the CGI together on both movies were good. I think part one they did a little bit more on to me.
Mm-hmm.
More on the movie, just because I guess you guys will probably. I liked part one better than part two. I thought part two was just very wordy. I thought part one there was a lot more action. There was more of a story than the second part was just, to me, filler. Waiting for the part.
I can see some of that.
So for me, the special effects in the first movie were good. I mean, I did like the sand worms. I thought that was really cool in in the second movie, and how they did that.
Mhm.
That was neat. All right, so let's talk about the plot and the story. Let's start with Shane this time.
I think when you talk about storytelling as a whole, I think both of these movies do an amazing job, and I can't wait for the third one to come out because it's going to take it even to the next level with this whole prophecy story. And I think that one of the things I'll talk about when we kind of get into the music is part one and part two have such major differences when you talk about the theme of the plot. The first movie really kind of sets what the world of Arrakis is and kind of how we kind of get to this whole prophecy and the people, the Furman there and everything. It really kind of sets all that up. And I'll be honest, for me, parts of the first movie were very slow. Great storytelling, and I think character arc, character development is unbelievable in this movie. But I think when you get to part two, you see so much. It focuses from the worlds that we're building and describing. You get into this one specific character. You really drill down into Paul Atreides, and you're really invested in his development into this prophecy and whether it's a good thing or whether it's a bad thing. And I think that the way that they did this complete shift from part one to part two, so it really did not, to me, it didn't feel like your normal sequel. It really kind of set itself apart. And actually, Dave and I were talking about this offline the other day. There's a whole lot of similarities when you think about this to the story of Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars. When you really think about he was the chosen one and everything, and then it.
Oh my
you
word!
see, I stole it. I'm sorry. You see it shift. You see it shift when it gets to part two, and this is very much like that, just on a different world.
Yeah.
Chad, how about you?
Oh no, I don't. The plot, you can. Storytelling, not. It was there, slow. Get to it. Character arc, you didn't. To me, I wish they would have put more emphasis of who they were.
Mm-hmm.
You start off, all right. Oh, this person, this planet system took off, and here's the Atreides. This family's getting it now over this. No sense of who they were, why they were there. But towards the end, you start picking it up. But I wish they went on with a little bit. Hey, this is why, a little bit more of the background part. I'm assuming we're gonna be talking about part two the same way. So I don't know. Just it could use some more little work on it.
Okay, John.
See, for me, if I was critical of anything, it wouldn't be the plot story as a whole so much as the pacing almost feels like it should have been a series. And I think that's the problem a lot of adaptations face, particularly because, I mean, this is based off of a book, right? And oftentimes series, books in general, they tend to just feel like they're more series based because literally you go by chapters in a book. Those feel like episodes. You call it a day. So if I was critical of anything of either of these, it's that it feels like it could have been a series and they could have delved in even more to the world building and stuff like you're talking about, Chad. But overall, this huge build, at least would appear, it's only going to be 3 films, right? Am I correct in that overall?
I hope so.
I think so.
Please, 3.
Even that one I do hope. But like this huge arc across 3 films where each film, at least the first 2 so far, feel distinct, but you still catch the overall story and you see the forest even with the trees. If that makes sense, you're not really focused on either one. You kind of catch both. I really appreciate that aspect as a whole. Overall, I was more entertained, I feel like, by the second film. Apparently I'm somewhat alone in that.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you there.
I find that build a little better to me. I do like the world building in part 1, but overall, again, I think it's a wonderful arc, but the pacing does feel like it could have been more series based than movies based per se.
Yeah. Well, both you and Shane stole my stuff. Really,
You're welcome.
that was going to be, we're not going to fix or improve this because it's too long. But we can go ahead and just kind of tweak them in here. I was thinking this would have been really good as a Disney
Series.
Plus series or HBO Max, something that was ongoing, Apple TV Plus or something, because I mean, I know they have a Dune series out there.
Yeah.
But I thought the world building was acceptable because you kind of know who. Okay, you know who the what is it? The Archimedes, who they originally were, and then they get wiped out by this next group, and then they're talking about the different families, and I get that. I like the storyline of the mother. I really
Jessica.
Lady Jessica. Yeah. I liked her story honestly better than I liked his. Because I wanted to know more about her, and I wanted to know more about why they was so quickly they basically crowned her, the queen, down in the South. And he, how can I say this politely? He was annoying. I just again, Shane and I were talking about it offline, and
You were the chosen one. You were the chosen one.
see, he was the chosen one, and then they're gonna go on this story, and then he's gonna turn to the dark side. I mean, I can already see it, If I could say anything about the story that I really didn't like, is it's predictable. I thought the story was I knew exactly what was going to happen from the very beginning, and I was like, him and the mom and him are going to get away, and then Jason Momoa is going to die, and the dad's going to die. And
Wait, it was all foretold in the prophecy. What do you mean? Of course you knew. That's the point.
It's fair.
What the thing is that
but it doesn't have to be. Good story writing doesn't have to be that predictable where you know exactly what's going to happen. I mean, a good story writing to me, it needs to entertain, which I think the stories did entertain, but I think that it could have been done better.
Yeah. Here's the only credit. You killed Jason Momoa in part one. I wish the guy that showed up in part two was Jason Momoa, not that guy. It would have been different.
Oh, you mean the older guy that
Yeah.
Not Thanos.
No,
Not Thanos.
no.
Not Thanos guy.
You mean as a villain or as
Just because
the one that helped him?
One that helped him. Because
Momoa would not have been a good. I don't think he would have been a good cast for that. I think the cast he was in.
No, I'm
fine.
saying like Jason lived. The guy that showed up, like, hey, your father had his nukes here. This is where he's at. It was you can use your nukes. You can use your nukes. You saw Paul, and if we talk about it in a second, this is why.
Yeah, I mean, all right. Well, you know what? Since we're already talking about the characters, let's just skip and go straight to the cast. We're discussing the cast. I mean, I thought part one had a better cast than part two.
Yeah,
I'll just be honest. I like Dave Bautista. I think Batista.
Yeah, Tista.
Yeah.
Batista. I think he was a good villain in part one, and they just kind of regulated him to nothingness in part two.
Yeah,
and then they had what was his name? Fayed Raul or
Fade Rotha. Fade Rotha.
Yeah, Rotha. Okay,
yeah,
Fade. I'm terrible with names, so and I get the storytelling on that, and I understand that. I just like Dave as a good villain, you know. And I liked
Yeah.
Momoa. I thought Jason Momoa was fantastic. I would have liked to have seen more of that. Like I said, if this was a series, you could have seen the wars going on and on and
You
on
could have
and
built.
on until got that. But then, honestly, in the second series, what other characters did they really add? They didn't add anybody other than Shane, Fred
Fade Rotha.
Fred Rotha. Okay,
Well, they added the Emperor's daughter because that didn't come up into play until
you're
part
right,
2.
and they added the Emperor itself. You know,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
was
you got to see him.
horrible casting. I'm sorry.
You don't like more cowbell as your emperor?
No, I don't want
Yeah,
more
more
cow.
cowbell?
I love more cowbell, but he was horrible. In that role. I'm
That was
sorry.
good. That was good.
No. No, I mean,
Yes,
give
oh, yes,
anybody.
I
I mean,
am.
you could have picked. You could have put Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it would have been better than that. All right.
I think
Well,
they
that's
were
like-
mainly going for a big established name as the Emperor,
Could have done better.
but as far as like scariness,
I
it
say,
didn't
come on, we
quite-
got to go more evil though.
I agree. I'll be honest. I would have been more
Robert De
convinced
Niro?
if you took the guy who was gosh, why can I not remember his name? He was Paul Atreides' friend who he thought was dead and then was back and he came to help him,
That's what.
who played Thanos. I would have believed him as the Emperor more.
Oh yeah, he carries more presence.
He does carry more presence. I agree.
Edward what is it? Edward Olmos, from Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
You know, I think he would have been a really good emperor. Because you've seen him in Battlestar Galactica as Commander Adama, you know, and the whole
So say we all.
you know.
No, yeah.
And so everyone's like, "Oh, he's cool," but then you have him in a much darker role. I think that would have been really cool.
Yeah.
John, how about you? Any notes on that?
I mean, honestly, Chalamet, fine with. Zendaya, though, I don't know at what level. I mean, I think she worked in this film. I think my problem is I've only seen her in A, My Childhood, and B, Spider-Man. And both of those were a lot less serious. So I don't necessarily know if she was necessarily that bad in this one or if I just have the context of all of her past work. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
You know, sometimes people's past kind of catch up with them in terms of their acting careers, and it's like, well, you've played all these unserious roles up to this point, and all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, I'm having to take you seriously, but you're also just kind of not there a lot. I don't know. It was odd to me. That's when I felt like could have been better, but I don't necessarily know if it was bad or if that's just my context.
Yeah.
Anybody else got anything on that?
Like I was saying, I think Momoa could have. I wish they had done something better with him instead of putting where he was at. It was a great cast of Fred. I think it would have been a great Fred, ally, friend person in the later in, because the other guy was. It seems to me he was more focused on, but he told what the girl John was just. He's going to do it. He already said he's already talking about doing it. He already knew it. So.
Yeah, see, we know I'm assuming, I haven't read the book, so I'm assuming in the next movie he is going to go to the dark side. I'm assuming. Maybe not. I don't know. That would have been really cool to see Momoa and him at against each other.
Yeah.
You know, because they were such lovey, you know, hey, every time they came up, they gave him a hug and all that, you know.
I want to go with you.
To see the transition of one of them, I think that would have been.
Yeah, see, that's too close to Star Wars.
Yeah, that's true.
See, I'm thinking more.
Well, when you go with something that works on at least for the yeah. I'm not gonna say the prequels work because they didn't. We've already established that on this show. So let's go with the music, Shane.
Yeah, there we go.
That's go with the Shane.
You
want me to go?
That one.
The Shane.
Okay.
We know you want to talk about it. So
I so do. So this music was done by the great Hans Zimmer. He has done other movies such as Inception, The Dark Knight, Interstellar, amazing work. He considers Dune to be his dream project. He said this. And what is interesting is that this whole project, both parts 1 and part 2, are completely different than any other score that I think I've heard. And this was all done on purpose. He used so many kind of blended and distorted instruments. He used them in different ways to make different sounds. He had custom built sounds. There's a YouTube video where he kind of goes through how he made some of the instruments and how they got some of the different sounds. It's very fascinating. Very fascinating. A lot of bagpipes, a lot of percussion. He also used a lot of, when you hear the lady chanting, that's all processed voice. So he takes the voice and then he does a lot of things in the computer and in the sound system to really distort and do things like that. So the whole sense of otherworldly is very, very present. And what he does in part one, mainly what he does is he uses the music to set the scene of what Arrakis is. So when they go, you can kind of hear it even whenever they are first on the Atreides homeworld. I can't remember what it's called, but the music there still kind of sounds like stuff that we would hear, kind of classical film kind of thing. When they get to Arrakis, it shifts, and it is very, very otherworldly, and that was for a purpose. He wanted to really set the atmosphere and set the mood of what Arrakis was, and that's what the music was used for. When it got to part 2, he did something completely different. He used the music, instead of building the world, he used it basically in the place of dialogue so that you could really feel the weight that Paul Atreides was feeling. Matter of fact, one of the things he did was he mixed a lot of silence followed by what he called overwhelming sound. It was not supposed to be pretty. It was not supposed to be sound good. It was supposed to be, he said actually he used at times intentionally uncomfortable amounts of sound so that you could really feel the weight of what Paul was feeling and what he was trying to do. And he really kind of used this even more than dialogue so that you could really get a sense of what Paul was struggling with. And I think he did a great job with it. This, of course, won many awards. The score for part 1 won more awards than part 2. But when you really think about it and what he was trying to do with it, it makes sense because it's not.
It's more available in part 1.
Yeah, this is not something that you would go around listening to in your car. It's not meant for that. He purposely actually stayed away from using themes. So like how different characters have themes, he specifically stayed away from that because he said that he wanted people to feel the sense of the movie versus going around humming a tune.
That's what I was going to mention. Is one thing I really liked about this is you didn't, like Lord of the Rings. Each person had their kind of theme, you know, and you knew what. All right, when you heard the theme, you're like, okay, this is about this person. This is about this person. Mm-hmm. I really like this about this. It was something different.
Yes,
you know, I thought the music was really good. You know, enjoyable. You know, it to me, if I don't notice the music in the background as much, that means to me you're doing what you're supposed to do. But also part of I think I would have liked it better had my sound system been working properly. My subwoofer kept cutting in and out on both movies, and then I'm like, why is that? Then I realized my subwoofer was over here and my TV was over there, and they were just too far away from each other. And I moved it closer for the end of part 2, and it was like, whoa, what a difference. Okay, I can actually hear everything. So but yeah, I thought the music was phenomenal. It really was. You know, I cannot take like Chad said, there's a few things on these movies that are really top notch. I think the special effects are top notch, and I think the music is top notch.
Oh yeah,
I agree. There's the special effects and music is the only thing was probably going to be the saving grace, but not getting something.
I mean, fair. And see, you know, you talk about, Dave, how if you don't notice the music, it's doing its job. And I think he did his job in terms of making us feel its presence more, which also makes us feel the lack of it. Because the moment you hit like that fight scene and suddenly it's just dead silent, you feel it.
Mhm.
And I think I appreciate just as much his non-use in certain scenes, just as much as his actual use. I think that was huge.
Yeah. One thing I failed to mention on the cast. I want to jump back here before we go to the next thing. Is I liked Rebecca Ferguson, and this guy right there. This guy, Chad, is the one that got me to know about her, is because I've been watching Silo. Chad's the one that told us about it one time last year, and I enjoy that series. It's tremendously. It's on Apple TV Plus right now, and I've got a free subscription for like another week or two, so I've got to finish up season 2. So, although I know there's another season coming apparently.
Oh yeah, there's another season. Yeah,
what's that?
So there's another season coming. Yeah,
I know. That's why I'm just like,
So I knew the mom was in this. I knew the mom was in. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh, okay, the cast, all right. That's really interesting, because she's the main character on Silo, and seeing her in a subordinate role rather than the lead role is different. I mean, obviously, this movie came out, both of them, even in the part 2 came out in 2024, and Silo came out in 2024 also. So, yeah, it's something different. Okay. Anybody else got anything else before we do the next thing? Going once, twice. All right, let's rate this. All right, we are going to rate this on a scale of 0 to 5 lightsabers. Well, he's been saying it all night long. You're going to have to rate these separately, by the way. So part 1 and part 2. Chad, go with part 1.
Oh, you're gonna make me be Scrooge at the very beginning. I was hoping.
Yes, sir, I am.
So get a suspense. So Shane and John, I'm sorry. The saving grace was the special effects and the music. I was never gonna go 0 on these movies because of what they were and what they stand for. They were lowest going to probably be a 1. It was the grace of going to a 1.5.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. Okay. Well, since I got you, Chad, go with number 2 then, part 2. Since you're there.
2 about the same. At least 2. The action, the story kind of keeps you on the edge of the seat. It gets you to 2.
A 2. All right. Let's go with Shane.
This is going to be a really short answer for me. Part 1 is a 5. Part 2 is a 6 or a 7.
Both ends of the spectrum, baby. Both ends of the spectrum.
For me. I just don't think there's any way that you can. Yeah, I've got to very much disagree with Chad, and I've got to go with
that's a typical answer.
Yeah, we remember last year. Shane was always 5. I knew he was going to rate this 5. So.
Yeah, I already knew this.
I don't think I'm going to be the only one that does though.
So John.
All right, so I just have to rate both together. I can't really separate them in my mind just because of the bigger story. So overall, everything we've discussed, wonderful, lovely. So for me, I'm going to hit a solid 4.5, and the only half notch for me is the pacing.
That's fair.
All right. Well, I did them separately on the spreadsheet, so I'll give you 4.5 for each one.
Yes.
Okay. For me, I am not as low as Chad. And I'm not as high as Shane. All right.
I'm stuck in the middle with you.
No, honestly, this for a change, I'm kind of in the middle of the road for this one. I enjoyed it. I'd never seen it before. So given the fact I've never seen it before, but you guys all know I mentioned it last year with Lord of the Rings. If you're going to make me watch something for almost 3 hours, you better have something special. It wasn't special. It was kind of boring on some things. I'm sorry. All right. Part 1, I'm going to give a 3.5. All right. It's still above average. I thought the special effects were good. I thought the music was good. I thought the cast was good. Part 2, I was a lot more disappointed in part 2. I thought that it just drug on. And I'm like, okay. So to me, I'm going to give part 2 a 2.5, which is 50% right down the middle.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
just
it's just
don't
a half
understand
point
the
more than I did. So
masterclass that this movie is.
Hey, you
well,
cannot say that we have. This is probably our most polarizing start to the season.
And it's well, it definitely it's okay. Here, let's I've got all the spreadsheets.
Of course you do.
Well, the first year we didn't really do that. All right,
Yeah.
so second year we were all the same on the first movie. The last year we were pretty much, other than Shane, which I was surprised. Shane, Mr. Shane, that loves to give fives, gave Flash Gordon a 2.5, and all the rest of us gave it a 3.5. It had Queen music in it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, but that was one of the redeeming qualities.
well, as both Chad and I said, the special effects, the cast, and the music are all are good.
Mhm.
The plot story, again, I shouldn't have told you that because then you wouldn't have stolen it. But it was to me, it's honestly, it's Harry Potter. It's Luke Skywalker, not Luke Skywalker. I mean Anakin Skywalker. It's the same. You know, the protagonist is going to be the one that's going to either turn to the dark side or go and be the savior of all of them.
We can't help it follows the JC trope. Okay, that's not our fault.
That's fair.
That is fair. Okay. Oh yeah.
If it
So
ain't
right now,
broke,
Chad is winning that at his rating is like 1.75.
jeez.
Ooh.
All right, let's go ahead and go with our questions, whether they're about the movie or not. All right, let's go part 1 first. John.
All right, Dune Part 1. I think we've covered a good chunk of the world building. I'm not going to ask that part of the first question. But overall, does the structure of the governing make sense to you guys in terms of emperor, houses, people, and even leaders of the people? Does all that make sense to you? Or do you think it's a big mumbo jumbo mess with no accountability?
I don't like it, but I think it makes sense. If that makes sense to you guys. The reason I say it makes sense is that, I mean, all right, politics in the United States in 2020 is 2020s. I mean, it's all about who you know and who you know, and who you know. You know, it's all about families, and you know, I mean, we've had multiple presidents where a father son or brother or whatever ended up becoming president, and then later on another one becoming president.
Mhm.
Whether it's Roosevelt, whether it's Bush, whether it's there's other ones out there that I can't think of off the top of my head right now. But so it's about family. I mean, it's about families running this country, and they really do. And so it's scary. It's very scary that you can give a family that much power.
Mhm.
But I think that the storyline, the way they did it in the movie, made total sense for the time and what they were living in.
What if you look at this? Go back into history with you have think about the emperor as a king. You had the lords. You had the and so on. It almost looked like it was in the fruitile. I forget what they called it, but it's almost similar to that, where each family was the lord of that planet, and with there you had your workers. So it didn't really. It made sense, but it also didn't make sense.
Mhm. I think that by the time you got into the second film, I think it made a lot more sense. One of my criticisms, I would say, is that I wish, and I like it when movies do this, they kind of take time at the beginning to really kind of explain everything, especially when it's dealing with a lot of different worlds. And it did some, but I feel like with some of that, it would have done more. I mean, you could have done more with it to where you explained a little more of the houses and the emperor and things like that. I think it would have helped.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just see overall, I'm just lost on the power dynamics, I guess, or what got lost for me, because the emperor in this universe is supreme ruler, but at the same time, it seems like half the houses are actually running things. And I don't mean literally running stuff, because obviously they are. I mean, that's how that typically works anyway. You have a leader, you have people who follow the leader, followers who follow the leaders of the follow. That makes sense, yes. But it's just like the emperor who has supreme power keeps stepping into places that I'm like, if you have supreme power, you don't even need to show up. Just like say it, make it happen.
Yeah.
See, here's another thing. Who was the queen mother, or whatever the Paul Atreides?
She's the one that was pulling all the strings behind the scenes.
I was gonna say the leader behind the leader, and that makes no sense to me.
It's just like I said, it doesn't make sense. Like if you going to pull all the strings, here's the sorceress. Let's just say that.
Basically,
she was.
Well, I think they did, but if I recall right, they actually said there is no timeline for them, meaning it doesn't have to happen right away. They're expecting all of this to come to fruition at some point. It may not be in there may not be in their lives, but they were like, okay, but we know it's going to happen. So they're playing the long game. In other words,
the thing is, this also reminds you, if you are you Star Wars people out there, and the sisters, the
Night Sisters.
Night Sisters. Almost similar to this. I'm sorry.
There's a lot of stuff that are similar to Star Wars in this movie.
Yeah. And Spice, yeah. Spice trade.
Yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
But it's to me is like you get in the second one, it's like he sees all the outcomes, and there's only one outcome that he'll come on top of. One.
Only one, right? So, in other words, it's Doctor Strange.
That's what I was just thinking.
All the multiverses and saying this is the only one. When Tony Stark dies, is the only one. Sorry, if you guys haven't seen the movie yet. Spoiler
alert! Spoiler alert! It's been out for years.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Wow. All right. Well, anywho, that's fair. Fair enough. All right. Second thing. In this world, do you think they were trying to be enemies to the world too much? Do you think they could have harnessed the power of the spice, as it were, a little more? I mean, obviously they're using the spice, but I think it's Mr. Atreides that Mr. Paul that straight up is like, yeah, they have sand power, like they harness the sand. Do you think the other houses could have just learned to live with that world a little more? Like, do you think the reason it was so hostile is just because they couldn't figure out something other than just brute power and force?
I think so. I think they just came in and they were just like, okay, we are tasked to take over this world. That's exactly what we're going to do, versus trying to come in and actually work with the Furman and actually make things work for everybody. I think, like you said the Furman were very much adapted to live in that atmosphere. They knew what to do with spice and everything, and they could have been a great partner. And I think the Atreides were trying to do that. They just didn't have enough time. But I think there was so much bad blood from the who was the family before them? Harkonnens.
Yes, there you go.
They had instilled so much bad blood, you really couldn't get past that.
Well, that's the thing. The Harkonnen, the Emperor took it from them and gave it to the Atreides on the fruition of this whoever this person is. Hey, put him there in place in that way to kill them all. They did that on purpose.
Right.
They knew taking that from the Harkonnens and put Atreides there, it was setting the war off. Why the only emperor's partial of his army went with the Arcanine to go the mass murder Atreides. Now, if Atreides was there and left it alone to do it, I think they would have been prosperous. Yes, they would have worked with the Freeman.
Mhm.
So
That's fair.
I think when you say what do you think they could do to counteract the world they're getting the spice from? I think they could have done their technology a little bit differently instead of having these big giant sand crawling things that are, I mean, they're cool as anything, but why aren't you using your helicopter things and just fly over and then hover and get your spice out that way or something else? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
To me, or use big giant air blowers and blow them into big piles and then suck them all up from the air or something, you know. I mean, to me, it just seems like there's other ways to do it other than from the way they described it is it's sitting on the surface. It's not like they had to dig and bury it
Yeah.
or dig it out. You know, they just like no, that was just bouncing, so it would kind of bounce up to the top.
vibration.
You
But
know.
better yet, just ride the sandworms. My gosh, the
Yeah.
amount of sand they kick up. Just
Yeah.
have a catcher on the back of one of those suckers, and you're set.
Well, I don't think that any of the houses thought to negotiate with the indigenous people of that
Mhm.
world.
Right.
Yeah,
And at the same token, though, is I don't think anyone in the people of that world would have put up with Joe
No.
Blow, next person, the next emperor is going to send the next house up there. There would have been some kind of a lot more fighting and civil unrest, and you know, than I think we were led to believe. To me, I think that's one of the again that kind of goes back on story and the plot that I think
Yeah.
you know. I mean, I'm sorry if you were if an alien. I'll just use alien because I don't think any of our anybody else in the world would be able to do this. But if an alien came up and they took over the United States, do you really think we're all just going to be like, oh yeah, okay, we'll just live here happily and do spice for you and help you out? No, we're gonna fight back. You know,
True.
so
Oh, 100%.
yeah. Okay, Shane, you're did you answer the question? Yeah.
I did.
Okay, then you're up with your questions now.
Okay. So for part 2, one of the film's major themes is, does belief either empower or does it enslave? Do you think Paul is using the Furman's faith to his advantage, or is he trapped in the prophecy himself of the Lisa El Gaib?
I'm gonna say a little bit of both. He's trapped by he's shows loyalty to his mother. That's bought full circle to hey, I gotta go down with the non-believer to turn them to follow Paul, but then also he's torn with that friend that hey, you avenge your father. So he's using both worlds to gain, and you saw it at the end of the part 2 that he full on I am this. Let's go. He bought into it.
Yeah, I think depending on which movie you're talking about part 2. I
Mhm.
think at the
Yes.
beginning of part 2, he believes, and he even says, "I am not the prophecy. I am not this. I am not that." And then at the end, he's like, "I am. I am."
Mhm.
So I think at the beginning of the movie, he is using the advantage of that
Mhm.
just to
Further.
gain allies.
Mhm.
And then towards the end, he starts believing it himself.
Mhm.
That's how I think about it. John, how about you?
I mean, I think he's a product of his environment. Like, I think he kind of gets trapped in it to the point that he does start believing. But at the same time, it almost feels like it's setting up a false prophecy. Like we have some huge plot twist later down the road where somebody actually was the prophet behind the scenes, or somebody we've already seen on screen and we just don't realize it yet. I could see that twist happening, but in terms of
Zendetta?
him, yeah, well, maybe not even her. Like literally, maybe somebody completely separate. I don't know.
Or the unborn child that's in the mother.
Mhm.
True.
See,
true.
I was thinking maybe it would be the mother. herself, because there's going to be some kind of knockdown with the her being the Queen Mother, and then who are the other ones? The
Bene Gesserit.
The Bene Gesserit, thank you. Them and her, because they're not happy with her because now she's considered to be Queen Mother, so.
Yep, the Reverend Mother. Is it Reverend Mother or Queen Mother?
Reverend Mother.
Reverend Mother. But overall, I feel like he did get trapped. I don't think that was his intent, but usually isn't.
Yeah. I get that. Okay. Second question. Be honest. Would you ride a sandworm? And if you did, in classic rodeo style, how long would you last on the sandworm?
With the
For those of you
cowboy
in
hat
YouTube
and
land, I had to
everything.
pull out the cowboy hat for this.
Yeah,
question.
those of you in audio land, Shane just put on his big black cowboy hat. So
That's right.
he's-
That's right.
I'm so glad you
Yeah.
followed through on that.
That's hilarious. If I had to ride one, I would ride one. Would I enjoy it? No. Would I have the strength to hold on? Probably not. I would probably be one of those. What is the bull to ride a bull is like 3 seconds or 13
8 seconds.
seconds? 8
Yeah,
seconds.
8 seconds.
Okay,
8
I
seconds.
wouldn't make it that long. No, not at all. I just don't think. I mean, now if it's something you train for, or if I had the force or whatever, I maybe, but no. One, I don't like sand, and two, blasting in your face. I mean, without a
Yeah.
windscreen. Oh my gosh, that would be so painful.
Well, Shane, I'm sorry, but if I had to ride a worm, I wouldn't be going in there with a cowboy hat. I'd probably be wearing what they wearing, a little face cover mask to protect my eyes.
What's rodeo style? You gotta,
It's not
it
rodeo
up a little
style.
bit.
You didn't have it in a cage, and you get on it, and you got his last. So,
It's not a mechanical bull.
yeah,
fair. That's fair.
but I'm with Dave. I don't think I could even last. I'll less than 8, maybe less than 5 seconds on it, because I'll be getting off because I won't be able to hold on to it.
Nah, give me a full 8-second ride. I got that. I'll ride that sucker for days. Days, I tell you, days. As long as I don't get eaten the first time. I get eaten
you go.
first, I'm dead, I'm gone, I'm fine. And then I'm just riding a sandworm in heaven. But you let me get on that the first time and hold on, I'll hold on as long as I need to, because I don't know how in the world you're getting off the thing.
That's what I was
That's
wondering. How do you
that's
get
one
off?
thing they never showed how they get off.
No, they don't.
So,
What do you do? Just tuck and roll? No, you get ran
guess.
over. Like
As fast as those things are going, good grief.
yeah.
Unless you can pull back hard, like, oh, stop.
I guess, but Lord.
yeah, I don't think that's happening either.
I personally would love to ride a sandworm, but I would give myself a solid 3 seconds, and that would be generous.
With the hat,
No,
Just
he would lose
period.
The
Period.
hat would be
with
gone.
the hat.
That would be gone in the first second.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
without a doubt. Without a doubt.
because you got to like jump off of a cliff to land on one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't think I'd be able to hold on just to those forks, just the first place before, not even standing up. It kind of reminds me of when I first tried surfing back in the 80s. Oh, I was horrible at it because I was so tall, trying to be able to stand up on a surfboard. It was not
Low
pretty.
gravity.
Not pretty, when you're tall. So, yeah. Well, everyone, that is our show. Couple more just kind of things that we're going to talk about today, just because I know it's a long, we're long today. We knew we was going to be long today because one, very first episode, we've got to kind of introduce a lot of the stuff that we're going to be doing this year. And some of the stuff we may tweak as we go along. We'll see. One of the things though, we want to let you guys know is it's pretty funny is, on our spreadsheet, I asked everyone, I said, hey, have you watched these movies or not? And everyone went in there and said yes or no. And Padawan John is not the one who's seen the least amount of movies. It's not. It's Shane. Shane has seen the least amount of sci-fi movies.
It's me. It's me. It's me.
And I am not the one who has seen the most. It's Chad. Chad has seen the most movies. which I kind of figured because there was a lot of these that I have never seen. I mean, when you look at the spreadsheet, I'm like right at 50% I've seen, 50% I haven't seen. Chad is 60-40. He's seen 60-40, 60% of them he's seen, 40% he hasn't, which I still think that's pretty good. Shane is the opposite. He's 68%, almost, let's just round it, 69% he has not seen, and 31% he has seen.
Wow.
Okay. John has been 35% he's seen, and 65% he has not seen.
Yeah.
So he's actually very close to the opposite of Chad there. So, but anyway, so that's our show. We hope you guys enjoy this. Tell us in the comments if you guys want to see more like this. You know, you like the movies combining or not. I don't know if we really want to do this again. It's just it was brutal watching some of these. I am not going to post all of our movies. Sorry, you guys just gonna have to watch each week to see what we're doing.
Yeah.
I can tell you because it's pretty much already the next movie we're gonna do is a B movie.
Yeah.
You know, so
sadly, for what it is a B movie.
It is a B movie. It wasn't supposed to be, but it turned into a B movie. So So yeah, all right, everyone. Let me see if I can figure this button out right here. Okay, everyone. Well, until next time.
Crash and burn.
These Sci-Fi Guys is an independent broadcast and is not affiliated with this movie or TV series. We would love to hear from you. Please contact us by leaving a comment below or by emailing us thesciFiGuys@gmail.com. Like, subscribe, or share this podcast with someone else who enjoys science fiction. Subscribe or be vaporized.